Entrance also was called Rajavihara. There is a Naga and a Garuda. Those things are gone. At least APSARA is not missing. She is still waiting to welcome the visitors.
This is we call Ta Prohm. This temple, Buddhist temple, originally they call Rajavihara University, and then was built by King Jayavarman VII. This temple, flat temple, and then they have east gate for main entrance. From the east gate to the temple, they have 400 meters long, but inside the temple, they have 39 towers. One tower symbol, one teacher. But nowadays, this temple here, they still have 18 towers, 23 towers they collapsed from the jungle. So Rajavihara, originally, we have 2,000 students. We moved from Angkor Wat, then they want to get education in this temple here. Look at it here. This is, we call woman god. We call Devi. But she is for the angel in the heaven. When she come from the heaven, she have the protection of universe. But you can see the ones coming up to the top. You can see one statue up there, we call Buddha. But the Buddha, they have chopped it away from another people because they want to believe to another religion, and then all the Buddha, they have to destroy. And then you can see one side on the wall over there, but the head is missing. We call Garuda. Garuda, they are body human, head is bird, but we have call of Vishnu God. This temple here, nowadays we call Ta Prohm. Ta, they mean old generation. Prohm, we have 4 faces. So 4 faces of Prohm, we have 2 kinds. One kind from the Buddhist religion, they call Buddhist Tattva Lokeshwara. And then one kind from the Hindu, we call Old Brahma faces. But this temple here, inside the temple, we have 3 roots covered on the towers. Because the tower, they make by the root specially. Because the tree covered on the temple, we got 2 trees. The first one tree we call fig, and then second one tree we call teak. But all the teak and fig tree very old one. Some they have 200 years old, some they have 300 years old. But the fig tree inside is hollow, but root very so strong, station on the temple. But nowadays, this temple here, they have beginning restoration by Indian government. They came in here for restoration 2010 until 2016. We have 4 more years they end. We get 2 more years beginning restoration. Yeah. So look at it here. This is Devi. This temple, they was built by Brahma king. They call Jayavarman VII. So Jayavarman VII, they was built this temple beginning 13th century in the year 1181 AD until 1186. But the king was built this temple here. They believe 2 religions. The first religious to the Brahman, and then second religious to the Buddhist, Hindu and Buddhist. And then this temple here, University of the King, we call Rajavihara University, and then we have 39 towers in the temple. But 1 tower, they symbol 1 teacher. And then until nowadays, they still have 18 towers inside the temple, but 23 towers they collect from the jungle. But Rajavihara University, we get 2,000 students. They move from Angkor Wat to get in here because inside here very flat temple, and then they just living on wooden houses. And then 1 tower, 1 teacher, and then inside we have 2,000 students. They move from Angkor Wat to living here. And then you can see 1 lady standing here, we call Devi, you know, Devi. She is a woman god, but she is very protection of the universe when she come from the heaven to in here. Because we are believe 2 culture, 1 culture from Indian and then 1 culture from Khmer. And then like Jayavarman VII, his heart is Hindu, but his wife is Buddhist. And then they combine all together, they bring Khmer very strong power in that time. Yeah.
It's a long way from the entrance. With the Chinese New Year, the place is crowded and too many tourists. Compared to when I first visited in 2002, now too much commercialization. This shows the size of these trees. India-Cambodia cooperation project for conservation and restoration of Ta Prohm temple. It's in Hindi and the local language. This is Rajavihara library in ruins. The restoration involves putting all these stones together in place and figuring out where they belong. Some pieces require, as part of restoration, redoing the whole thing, and the work is not easy. To fit in proper location, we have to use mechanical means and move it so that they stay in place. This is how they are working to fit the missing pieces so that they fit where they belong. What is not available, they have to make it a new one. This is the restoration office with a lot of charts and plan how each segment has to be done, with the archaeological experts studying first and putting together, then the workers take over and do it. Thus, it involves quite a bit of technology, and I'm sure quite a bit of computer science is involved that is not seen in this location. The hall of dancers is sketched out and then work is going on to restore it. Photographs are showing the progress being made on the earlier shape it was in prior to planning restoration. Of course, some require heavy equipment. An example of how old and the new is patched together. That's what the restoration is going on. Look at those trees. This is one of the most popular segments in Angkor Wat after the main temple. The steps to go up, but one has to be very careful when climbing up. A more close-up view. The arches in place. The evidence of attempts at earlier restoration, though not perfect, but at least by size they fitted the pieces together. Entrance at the door, the Devi with a lion as her Vahan, some horsemen around. These are the multiple things.
People have been offering more than $1.
Starting with a female, going on with so many intricate work. has deterioration taken place, yet many are well preserved with this tree growing tall and the roots descending down. Yet the workmanship is well preserved. We have the restoration. And some are recently created. This is a popular tourist place for photography. One by one is lining up to be photographed with the tree roots. This is the dancing hall that is undergoing a massive restoration effort by the Archaeological Survey of India, the Government of India External Affairs. One can see the massive help required and the workers continue to work. But when finished, this probably would look very beautiful, half original and some added on. Another serpentine tree winding around that even required a support. Mind your head. First have a head and balance it. Large number of these silk cotton trees still intact. The gallery from my right to left I can't film all of it from here because of the crane. There is other half on the other side. It's a huge complex. It will be a while before all these gallery stones are restored. With 2 more years remaining, I doubt the work can be finished. It will probably need to be extended or a phase 2 need to be implemented. The Government of India find some more money. Now the gallery wall as well as the gallery entrance. The doorways are about 6 foot, which means some of the people were at least tall. In other places I saw the doorways were very short, about 4 feet tall. With the massive root for the temple, even the root have to be supported. That's so heavy during restoration. Almost 18 to 20 feet. This is the beauty of restoration. Even the roots have been supported and the tree remained tall. Fortunately, they did not cut this tree and preserve. It also looks to me that the tree roots are still holding the structure together in place. Any disturbance of the roots may result in fall of some of these structures. The precision of the work cannot be ignored. It's massive and very precise with much details, including Naga and the pillars and the art everywhere. Each of these towers represent one guru with accommodation for students to learn. It shows from the top that is damage in the roof to how it looked like. Interior. Massive pillars to support the structure, solid stone. Another massive tree with the tree roots. Surrounding and encircling. And the walls decorated with APSARA.
Dina, come here, Dina.
Okay, this place, the central tower, we call the tomb of Mother King of Jayavarman VII. But that tomb, when Mother King Prajna Paramita, she was cremated by fires, and then she had to use acid bone to bore it inside the central tower. And then when they, until nowadays, acid bone of Mother King Jayavarman VII, they was stolen away during 14th century when Khmer lost power of charm. After that, when the charm is occupied here 4 years, and then they have one country from the west, we call Siam. Siam, he second control here, and then all the acid bone, all the wooden houses, all education, all something in this university, Rajavihara, they was stolen and was destroyed by fires. Yeah. And then this place, very famous one, because we have one tree, we call a fig tree, but they have make a movie shot, we call a Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider. And then you can see the inside the central, we have many holes inside, because inside the hole they use something very special. They use precious stone, jewelry, gold, diamond inside the hole. But every night time, when the full moon right in the middle one, and then we have lights coming out, because this is very special mausoleum of the Mother King Prajna Paramita. Yeah.
The Siam is the current Thailand.
Siam now.
This is the location where the ashes were buried of King Jayavarman VII mother. This mausoleum, these holes once upon a time contained precious stones. With the light they will shine until they were all taken away during the Siam, Cambodia or Kambuja War in 14th century AD. Another view of how the trees have grown over the temple. I admire the Buddhist monks of that era, with all the APSARAs on the wall, how they could concentrate for studies and meditation. This is Riza, 5-year-old. She is selling something. She is going to be an interpreter someday. Hope she will succeed. She is starting the lesson very early in her age. Well, how the roots spread like a snake and encircle. Of course, it has to go down to the soil to get its nutrition. On the other side of the tree, you can see how it has still kept the fort wall or the gallery wall together and yet going down into the soil.